What's the first thing you do when you see a service dog? Motivational speaker and service dog user Michelle Weger join us on the start of this Invisible Disabilities Week with some tips to keep everybody safe and everybody moving around as they should be. And you join us with Quinn this morning.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. My first, until I started becoming more aware of what's going, my first impulse was always like, oh, I want to go up and pet that dog.
Very understandable.
Yeah.
They're cute, they're well behaved. It's a natural instinct to want to love on them. Mm-hmm. Happens to most people.
Right. But if they're wearing any kind of a harness, mm-hmm. or any, some wear a harness, some wear a vest. So Quinn has on a harness right now. Mm-hmm. Then it's like, do not touch it, and don't let your kids touch either.
Exactly. We appreciate the positive attention and feedback. However, you won't be the first, second, or even fifth person that day who has come over and asked. And it gets exhausting, even when people are kind, to keep having to say, no, she's working, I'm sorry, yes, I know. Mm-hmm. It uses so much energy when these dogs are here to help us have to navigate the world more easily, not
right.
with extra labor.
Not having to stop and explain all the time. So if you see a dog, and don't go up and ask the person, oh, what are you doing with that dog? What's wrong with you? That's another thing I've seen.
So common. It would be the equivalent to the first thing I say, hi, do you take any prescription medicine? Yeah. How weird would that be? And yet people do the equivalent with a service dog all the time.
Okay, and you've also had people come up to you because some people also assume that you know, it's only the like German Shepherds or Labs. Mm-hmm. We're seeing a lot more of poodles as well, but that, oh, well, you must be blind.
Or that I'm training her for someone else.
Yes.
People will come up and say, thank you for being such a good person, training this dog for someone who's blind. And I have to tell them, actually, she's for me. I am a good person, but this is actually my dog.
Right. Because there are so many different uses now that these dogs are being used for. Mm-hmm. They can sniff out when someone is about to have an epileptic seizure, mm-hmm. and protect them if they fall. Mm-hmm. There's so many others.
Yeah, low blood sugar for diabetes, particularly for children with diabetes. The dogs can alert the parents overnight, for example, that there is a crisis and get help. For me, I have narcolepsy, so Quinn will tell me before I'm about to fall asleep in public, which is dangerous for anyone, but particularly dangerous as a woman. Mm-hmm.
And so what will he do?
What Quinn will do is put her mouth right here on my arm and gently guide me down. What she's looking for is for me to sit down before I fall down, and then I can take medication and wait for it to pass.
Okay. And you've also had, and you were telling me just before we went on, you've been denied access to places because people think that, okay, Quinn isn't really a service dog.
Correct.
Last night it happened.
Just last night it happened at the hotel, correct. It's, I think, a combination of things. First, that Quinn is not a common service dog breed, given she isn't a poodle, a German Shepherd, or a Lab. And also the fact that I look typical. You wouldn't automatically assume I have a disability. But this is Invisible Disabilities Week, which is why we're here. Most disabilities are invisible. Mm-hmm. You can't know if someone is disabled or not simply by looking at them. Right.
And even if somebody is using a cane, you can't tell what their limit of vision is.
Absolutely.
That kind of thing. So what's another lesson that you'd like people to know?
An analogy that I think is particularly powerful is if you wouldn't do it to a wheelchair, then do not do it to a service dog.
Okay.
For example, you would not touch a stranger's wheelchair. You would not go up to them and ask them what is wrong with them. And you certainly wouldn't ask them if that's somebody else's wheelchair. You
right.
would not doubt them either.
Right. I think of it too as being like Quinn is your caregiver, you know, and because you've had people, you know, just randomly taking pictures of you. And I'm always like, okay, if that were a caregiver, a person, would you be taking pictures of them?
It's such a good analogy, and you wouldn't be asking if the caregiver has their shots or not either.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that's okay. So lots and lots of lessons. Where can people go to learn more about invisible disabilities?
So I like to post a lot of content on my own website, and particularly this week, if you follow the hashtag Invisible Disabilities Week, you will find tons of Canadian content about narcolepsy, but also a wide breadth of invisible disabilities.
Okay, thanks so much for joining us today, and for Quinn as well. And we'll get those links up on our website at chch.com/morninglive.